Shalom, brothers and sisters. It's your brother Yahweh. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, salutations to all full legs scattered about across the four corners of the earth, learning and teaching this gospel with truth and sincerity. Shalom. Today I want to go over, Esau. He's using that craftiness and mischief to control the narrative, to get over, and to see coming after the working of Satan. He's crafty. When he goes into that, coming after the working of Satan, he's coming after in that energy of Satan. So this is why, you gotta know your enemy, as the scriptures say. Never trust thine enemy. So we gotta know our enemy and what he's doing. You look into it. This is called propaganda. It's information, especially of biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to mislead and get people, to mind control them, to get them to react. Like how, how they're pushing out, those lies, saying that Hamas is killing babies, that we have to protect Israel. It's all set up by the children of Satan, which is those small hatters, so they're coming after the working of Satan. It's all set up by Satan at the end of the day. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna mislead you. It's all used to promote a particular political point of view. That's what's going on. We've seen that's what happened with the Mari Stoudemire. You go right here.
I woke up, man, this morning with some disturbing news out of Israel. That Hamas kidnapping children, putting them in cages, killing women, killing the elderly. That's some coward shit. That's cowardly. And for all y'all Black Lives Matter who ain't saying nothing, well, let me figure out exactly what happened before I say anything. Fuck you.
That Black Lives Matter is all a set up organization too as well. The owner of that pushes the LGBTQ. So it's all a agenda, what they're pushing, and then this right here, it's showing you that he fell to the propaganda. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he pushes that Haygleician dialect. Problem, reaction, solution. This is what he does. Get a precept. Let's go to Psalms. Chapter 52. The tongue devises mischief like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, lying rather than to speak righteousness, Salah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living, Salah. It's just showing an example, how these Edomites, how they are, man. This is nothing new under the sun, how these Edomites go. They love is evil more than good, and they'd rather to speak lying than to speak righteousness, because they're not righteous people. Like scripture say right here, that likewise destroy thee forever. That's what's gonna happen to them after that remnant serves that slavery. So this is what they like to do. They like to lie and mislead people. They love us that lying more than righteousness. Let's continue on. Verse 6. The righteous also shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. They're going to laugh through the elect. The elect are going to be in a joyful state. And they're not. So verse 7. Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, strengthened himself in his wickedness. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever. I will praise thee forever, because thou hast done it. I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints. Yeah, we're going to wait on the name, the true names of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, it's good before thy saints, man. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's a forger of lies, as the scriptures say. So you got to be circumspect, and be on point and pay attention. Circumspect means to look around when you're walking, so you don't get devoured, by the wiles of the devil, man. He seeketh who he may devour. Satan, that's what he does. So God, let's get right here as well. Psalm chapter 50, verse 20. Those citizens speaketh against thy brother, those slanderous thine own mother's son. Verse 19, Salakia. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Those citizens speak against thy brother, thou slanderest thy own mother's son. These things thou hast done, I kept silence. Thou thoughtest I would altogether such an one as thyself, but I will reprove thee, I will set them in order before thine eyes. Now consider this, yet that forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whoso offereth praise glorify me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright, I will show the salvation of God. We want to order that conversation aright. That's our conduct. And that's how we're gonna get that salvation. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Right here. His mouth frameth deceit. That's what his tongue frames. He gives his mouth to evil. He's slanderous against thy brother. This is what Esau does. God, he's a slanderer. This is false statements. This is what he's known for. He comes out the womb speaking lies. So come on, let's get into that video, showing as well, that this was an inside job.
When I was a soldier, and I know the security drill.
She lives in Tel Aviv, and I want you to listen.
So this is Israeli news, and we know that like the scriptures say, their tongue shall fall upon themselves. So when one of their own people are exposing that this was an inside job.
What she has to say here.
When I was a soldier, and I know the security drills.
By the way, and I've got another portion of where she does this. This is only one clip of this interview here. She has taken a compilation of different Israelis and what their observations were. She lives in Tel Aviv. It's a very typical Jewish apartment there you're looking at. I know when we lived, me and my wife lived in Jerusalem. We also had an apartment, very similar tile floors, etc. there. But listen to what she says here. This is what I was talking about when I was given the intel of this a year ago. 10 months ago is one of the places where I reported it. I shared with you the other day. But listen to what she says.
I know the layers of defense. I know the spreading of forces on the ground. I know the different divisions that are working, that are supposed to be alerted and that supposed to know about things like that. And there is a big question mark on what happened to the intelligence of Israel. There was a Hamas soldier that was caught yesterday, and he said in his investigation, he said, we prepared for over a year. Okay, if they have prepared for over a year, I'm telling you that there is no chance that the intelligence forces of Israel, and the Mossad, the Shabak, everyone did not know about this. That it's been 5 hours till Israel started shooting at us, he said. And that is true. There was nothing for 5 full hours. The border fence was completely open in 15 different places where they breached, and there was no helicopter, no drone, no artillery, nothing. And they said it themselves. The guy that was caught said, we were all set up with 1,000 soldiers. We created 15 breaches in the border fence. We were surprised and shocked that the IDF is not waiting for us. Now, I served near the Gaza border 25 years ago. When I served, there was no internet. Now everything is a lot more sophisticated. But even then, when I served, a cat moving alongside the fence would trigger all the necessary forces. Today they have automatic weaponry machines that are supposed to shoot anything near the fence that is coming close. They have, as I said, helicopters, drones, they have everything, and nothing was working. So this is a really important question. How
Yeah, so when she was there, she's saying when something came by the border, it was on it, So this is showing you that this is all propaganda scheme, to see who's gonna put up with it, like with these Hamas and these small hats, because Mossad, that's basically like a CIA, of Israel. They got the best capabilities. They got all types of experience, with these capabilities, you know, so kind of like she was in it for 25 years. She was even explaining like it's not making sense that people weren't there at that border to protect, because Israel got the best militaries, and it wouldn't take no 5 hours, when she was in this force, this military, it would set off, So it's just showing you like now they got even more powerful technology, like lasers, laser beams. If you go past stuff, you crossing borders, you're done. So this is showing you like this is a cap.
There was no retaliation? How come nothing happened for so long, for 5-6 hours? This is very untypical and unusual for the Israeli Defense Forces. So something must have happened. There are some rumors about cyber attacks, but this has not been confirmed. Some people try to justify saying, okay, if there was a cyber attack on the defense force, then maybe all the systems were down, but still there are supposed to be forces on the ground. There are plan Bs, they have all the different means to take care of incidents like that.
Yeah, the other thing is that they had moved the military out from the Gaza border. 80% of them were moved to the West Bank just prior to this incident taking place. Listen to her over here. And this is another part of
So 80% of their military equipment moved from the Gaza border to the West Bank because there might be something from the Hezbollah, out of Lebanon. So they moved it because they're crafting and cunning, like scripture say, Esau, he was a cunning hunter, so they're setting things up to be in this background, as you can see. Doing things behind the scenes, doing it all in the background. So let's get this right here as well. Psalms chapter 36. Let's start at verse 3. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He had left off to be wise and do good. He devises mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Yeah, so he setteth mischief upon his bed. His mouths are iniquity and deceit. He's not wise, and he don't do good. This man is evil. These so-called white men, Esau, Edom, and these Edomites are evil men, children of Satan. He devises mischief upon his bed. When he's in bed, he's thinking about doing evil. He ain't thinking about doing good. He ain't thinking about ways to be righteousness in the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. His whole system is set up to be against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So it's all, he abhorreth evil. He loves, it's like he abhorreth not evil. So that's what he loves. He loves not to do good. He loves to do evil. So that's why he moved this military, equipment from the border, so people can freely come in. It's a setup, so it's showing you that what's going, how he moves. It's showing you how he moves, because this is how Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is.
A different time when she's speaking about this incident when it first took place. Let's listen in.
October 7th, 2023. This is this morning. I'm going to share some key details and concerns, mostly based on Israeli citizens' voices from the ground and based on official statements. This is a very tough day for me and for us in Israel, and it is tough for people of Palestine too, especially now that Israel is starting to attack back. This war and every war is a horrible thing for everyone.
Yes, it's not a war either. You know, it's just two strong powers going against each other. This is military versus militants. You know, so that's all it is. You know, it's just like a scenario of a modern government killing people.
Involved, except for those who get rich from it, right? This morning, around 6 a.m., around sunrise, hundreds of Hamas terrorists, at least 300, breached the border fence in multiple places, completely unimpeded, leading to terror attacks and kidnappings in Israeli towns or villages. The terrorists infiltrated a significant number of dry land outposts, as well as a naval infiltration point in Zikim. As we speak, Israel is actively engaged in combat in 22 outposts. This is from the IDF statement, the official statement.
It's the Israel Defense Forces when she says that.
Attacks have already resulted in over 100 casualties and more than 100 kidnaps of Israeli citizens. In one village, 50 Israelis have been taken hostage, leaving people locked in shelters for long periods of 8 to 9 hours without rescue. By the way, the 100 kidnappings is not the official number. It's what we hear from people on the ground. I think official numbers talk about 30 or 40 people, but we know there are more.
Yeah, the numbers are up now. Oh, yeah, we can get this right here too as well. Yeah, going into
used. If you dare say something that makes sense, then why white phosphorus is being used. And anybody that knows anything about white phosphorus, it causes some severe scarring, burning tissues beyond belief, and leaves lifelong impairments for people that it comes in contact with. And once it hits the ground, it's indiscriminate. So if there are children in that area, adults, old, what doesn't make any difference who it is, it's going to basically scar them and burn them alive. It's a very, very dangerous weapon, and one reason why it has been banned in so many places around the world. You guys remember we played this young lady right here. This is actually, well, not that one there. This is her here. You can see a little bit more, but cut off the video earlier there. But I want to just kind of remind you, she was the one that was worked for the IDF. She was commander of the unit where she was at there, speaking about how that this was an inside job, that there was no way that Hamas could have actually been able to infiltrate Israel without Israeli forces knowing. Not only as she said,
she worked in the IDF, you know, exposing them. You know, it's just the tongue's falling upon themselves.
That, but also now we have a new voice that has joined this right here, this young man right here, and I'm going to play this clip for you. He is also former IDF. He is speaking in Hebrew. The translation has been done accurately, and I want you to be able to hear this. All right, he says, listen, I was a commander in the Golani Brigade for a while, and I know what the border patrols are. I was a squad leader for a while, and I tell you about what happened. It was done in full cooperation. It's impossible that the IDF, the Israeli army, or especially Shin Bet, the Israeli security agency, didn't know about it. There's no way the IDF does not react immediately, or the Air Force, or the tanks. In my times, back it up here. In my times, we only had suspicion, assumption that there was going to be an invasion from the Gaza Strip. I remember I was in the Oz, in hundreds of cars, vehicles from all sides arrived in seconds. No way this happened without the knowledge of the IDF. I want to tell you something. Listen carefully. I want to tell you, this country betrayed us back during the, well, you know what he says there, with these dangerous, and you know what he says there, now you see it more clearly. The army no longer serves us. I know it sounds hard. I know it's scary. But in my opinion, it's true. And there you have it right there from this young man right there who has been brave enough, ex-IDF commander, to come out and say, pretty much, we've been betrayed by the Israeli government, and the people have as well. Avi Lipkin, from a different perspective, he exonerates Netanyahu. He believes that it could be possible that the generals knew about it, but did nothing to warn Netanyahu so that somehow or another they might throw Netanyahu out. Now, I don't go along with that narrative. I believe Netanyahu is the one that did know about it. But nonetheless, again, it shows a consensus that it's just not possible for the IDF not to know there was an attack coming, especially in light of the fact that the Egyptians publicly have said they warned Israel about this coming attack. Listen up.
But their concepts.
Yeah, so they warned Israel about this attack, so they knew it was coming. IDF knew. You know, this is showing you that Esau is devising these enchantments, man. He's devising this iniquity. You know, he's pushing out that craftiness and mischief, you know, to control the narrative, like I was saying.
They said the same thing about the Gaza Arabs. And the crazy thing here is, number one, the Egyptians warned certain people in the military, and it seems like the message did not get passed down, you know, or passed up to the high command. Or it could be that there are people at the top in the military who knew about it. They wanted it to happen so that Netanyahu would be blamed for it, and that would mean Netanyahu would have to resign, or there will be a civil war in this country and they'll kill him. So I'm very, very concerned about where this country is going. We are in a...
There you go right there, Avi Lipkin there. So he also knows that the Israeli military was warned about the attack coming, but in his view, they did not go up the chain of command. It was not given to Netanyahu, and therefore Netanyahu was unable to react based on it. I still find that hard to believe too, because we know Hamas planned this for more than a year.
Yeah, Hamas planned this for more than a year, so the higher ups did know. You know, this is they wanted to push what they wanted. You know, their agenda. You know, to take that land, Gaza. You know, to pull a genocide, just like Esau, even the so-called white man, always pushes these genocides, just like how he did to our people, the so-called Native Americans.
This attack that they did, and going back to Rabbi Mizrahi, listening again to what he has to say.
Already hundreds of, and there's no question in my mind that it was an inside job, that this lefty probably cooperated with them from inside, because it's unreal that they will break in 15 different places and there's no guards by the fence. Usually for every animal that touched the fence, immediately a jeep runs there with few soldiers to check what's going on. That's been going on for all of a sudden. Nothing worked. One place, another place, another place. It's not realistic. They made our army look like a joke. The whole world is shocked. How is it possible? Where was the army? The army did not start to respond at least 4 hours until already hundreds of people were murdered. Everyone is in shock. I spoke to a few people who used to be in intelligence. They say if a mouse would touch the fence, 20 jeeps will get there in less than a minute. This is how strict it used to be.
And there you have it right there. And notice, so Mizrahi didn't say it just when he spoke to this congregation. He's sitting there again being recorded, and I want to play this again for you, where again he is saying the same narrative.
And there's no question in my mind that it was an inside job, that this lefty probably cooperated with them from inside, because it's unreal that they will break in 15 different places and there's no guards by the fence. Usually for every animal that touched the fence, immediately a jeep runs there with few soldiers to check what's going on. That's been going on for all of a sudden. Nothing worked. One place, another place, another place.
There you have it there. And like I said, second time now he has confirmed his words originally Kind of like that of Avi Lipkin, though, speaking about the lefty, or, you know, the left side of the government there, allowing something like this to happen intentionally. And don't forget, as Ron Paul says here,
what's happening in the Middle
in
East,
this video here,
with Gaza right now,
Hamas was
we
created
have
by
some
Israel
more
and the US.
responsibility for both sides in a way, because we provide help and funding for both Arab nations. Our American weapons and American funds essentially are being used for this. But there's a political liability, which I think is something that we fail to look at, because too often there's so much blowback from our intervention in areas that we shouldn't be involved in. You know, Hamas, if you look at the history, you'll find out that Hamas was encouraged and really started by Israel, because they wanted Hamas to counteract Yasser Arafat. And you say, well, yeah, that was better then and served its purpose, but we didn't want Hamas to do this. So then we as Americans say, well, we have such a good system.
As we see Ron Paul clearly showing, Israel created Hamas to be able to overpower the PLO. And of course, as he claims there, that kind of like backfired there. One thing I wanted to share with you, and again, I want to remind
Yeah, so this is showing you this is all the agenda that Esau pushes out. It's too fishy, you know, all the military force to be gone all of a sudden. You heard what he said. You know, it's just like it shows you, and then them using that white phosphorus too shows you just how wicked he is. Like I was saying, you know, let's get this one as well. You know, because it's what it's like Job chapter 13 verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. Yeah, they're physicians of no value. They're forgers of lies. It's just all they do is speak. They come out the womb speaking lies. Like I was saying, this is what they do. This is what they live for. You know, they hate his righteousness. You know, they love evil and hate his righteousness, like we brought out. Let's get this one as well. Sirach chapter 14. Verse 5, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. Yeah, because, you know, he'll go overboard. You know, he'll use his own people to get the job done. You know, every time, you know, he will take something from his own brother to be a greedy man, you know. Like verse 6, there is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. Yeah, and this is how our own people act as well, you know, of Israel. You know, but this ultimately, you know, Esau, even the so-called white man, you know, there's none worse than he that envieth himself. You know, that's a recompense of his own wickedness. You know, this person's never satisfied. You know, he wants more and more and more. You know, he won't leave grapes, as it tells you. You know, in the book of Obadiah, you know, he's not going to leave grapes for the grape gatherers. You know, roughly paraphrasing. This is not what he's known for. He wants more and more and more. He's never satisfied. Kleptomaniac. He just keeps taking and taking. That's what he just keeps stealing. That's what a kleptomaniac is. You know, like he's a greedy man, you know, for violence and war, you know, just like how it says in Psalms 140. And in this rulership, he's just straight wickedness, you know, just to take over gods and some militants too. It's just wickedness. Let's get this right here. Micah chapter 2. In verse 1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. You see it just like in Psalms 36, you know, they devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. They think about evilness when they're in their beds. You know, how can they oppress the people more? How can they do more wickedness? And they practice it. Because it's the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You know, verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Yeah, and this is what they did to the Palestinians. You know, they covet fields and take them by violence in houses and take them away. You know, like the scriptures say, though, whoever perished being innocent. We're not saying they're innocent, but this is what Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, did. You know, to these Palestinians. You know, he took it from us too. You know, it's because, you know, they have that power right now. You know, that blessing he got. You know, gone. You know, the sword and the fatness of the earth. You know, like just what he did to these Palestinians. You know, he just took them out their homes. You know, bombed. You know, that he has that military power over there. This is why they got them out of the picture. They're gonna do what they want to take that land. You know, it's a con. You know, but they're not the chosen people. This is why we prove it. You know, by bringing out the scriptures, showing you how wicked they are. You know, because like I said, that energy they're coming after in is of Satan. That's that energy of Satan they come in, and it's all tied to the witchcraft and enchantments that they push. You know. And, you know, just like verse 1, let's read that again. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is not light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. You know, they make these laws, legislations. They set up these military units. They pay people to do stuff for them and attack. You know, they use their own people to get the job done. If some of their people die, they don't care as long as the job's done. You know, this is how he works. You know, he just wants the agenda to be fulfilled, and that's ultimately what he wants fulfilled is his enterprise. But it's not gonna happen. You know, when his belly is filled, wrath of Yahweh Shem Shai shall come upon him. Roughly paraphrasing, he's not gonna be able to fulfill his enterprise. You know, it's a con. Yeah, let's get right here, and then I'll wrap it up. Sirach, chapter 51. From the talk, a prayer of Yahweh Shai, the son of Sirach. I will thank thee, O Lord and King, and praise thee, O God, my Savior. I do praise unto thy name. You know, praise the name, Yahweh Shem Shai. The name's important. You know, there's not any other name under heaven where we must be saved. For thou art my defender and helper, and has preserved my body from destruction, and from the snare of the slanderous tongue, and from the lips that forge lies, and has been my helper against my adversaries. Yeah, he forged the lies, man. This Esau, even so-called white man, you know, and helper against my adversaries. You know, we want Yahweh Shem Shai to be a helper against all our adversaries, you know, all our enemies, and has delivered me according to the multitude of thy mercies and greatness of thy name from the teeth of them that were ready to devour me, and out of the hands of such as sought after my life, and from the manifold afflictions which I had. Yeah, Khan, that's what we want. We want the mercies of David, you know, the mercies of Yahweh Shem Shai, you know, the mercies of David. That's ultimately what we're looking for. We're praying for every day, you know, and we want to be delivered and get that salvation from the teeth of them that are ready to devour us. You know, that's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you know, in Psalms 83, these other nations, and also the ones that are enemies, you know, of enemies of our people, you know, contrary to us, to the doctrine. You know, those are those forged of lies as well, too. You know, they forge lies as well, too. Verse 4, from the choking of the fire on every side, and from the midst of the fire which I kindled not, and from the depth of the belly of hell, from the unclean tongue, and from lying words. Yeah, and that's what we want to be delivered from. You know, from the unclean tongue and from lying words, you know, from the depth of the belly of hell, man. We want to make it to the kingdom, Yahweh Razah. Verse 6, by an accusation to the king from unrighteous tongue, my soul drew near, even unto death. My life was near to the hell beneath. They compassed me on every side, and there was no man to help me. But I looked for the succor of man, but there was none. Then I thought upon thy mercy, O Lord, and upon thy acts of old, and how thou deliverest such as wait for thee, and savest them out of the hand of the enemies. you know? And that's, hey, everything was written was for a foretime for our learning. So, you know, Yahweh Shem Shai will deliver us out of the hand of our enemies. You know, like it says in Luke chapter 1, and you know, that's what we want, you know, enemies of our people as well, you know? So Khan. You know, because like I said, they forged those lies too, you know, but ultimately this is what we're talking about, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you know, after that energy of Satan, we see what he's doing, you know, pushing inside jobs and pushing out these propagandas, you know, just to see who's going to follow it. Like we see with Floyd Mayweather, he followed it as well, just like Amari Stoudemire, you know, giving back, giving them money, you know, just because, hey, for the love of the money is the root to all evil, as the scriptures say, you know. They trusted in their riches, as we brought on that Psalms 52 as well, you know. So Khan, there was another woman as well, celebrity, that was making up a fundraiser as well for them. So they feed off of Esau Edom's lies. So Khan, verse 9, then I lifted up my supplications from the earth and prayed for deliverance from death. In verse 10, I called upon the Lord, the Father, O my Lord, that he would not leave me in the days of my trouble, in the times of the proud, when there was no help. I will praise thy name continually. I will sing praises with thanksgiving, and so my prayer was heard. You know, hey, you got to pray and have faith that your prayer is going to be heard. You know, that they pray without ceasing. You know, hey, watch and be sober. You know, and kind, because that's why you want to pray. And watch and be sober, you know, and have faith that Yahweh Shem Shai is hearing us in these last days, because the tomorrow is never promised. So we want to do whatever we can to hope to be saved from our enemies. Verse 12, for thou savest me from destruction, delivers me from evil time. Therefore I will give thanks, O praise, and bless thy name. When I was yet young or ever and went abroad, I desired wisdom openly in my prayer. We desire wisdom openly in our prayer. You know, that's what we want at the end of the day. You know, we pray it in faith that we get it as well. But yeah, this ultimately, we want to be saved from that destruction, you know, in that evil time, you know, Jacob's trouble. So we're going to give thanks to Yahweh Shem Shai, and we're going to pray that our prayer is being heard, man, you know, because we have faith. You know, like, you know, when Yahushua was doing those miracles, he said, thy faith has saved thee. You know, we need faith and works at the end of the day. You know, that's what this is all about. And that's why we just wanted to get into this, to show Esau Edom, so-called white man, you know, and his children of Satan. You know, these are forger of lies, man. Pushing out, you know, slandering the brother, like how the scriptures say. So, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up with the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 6. Now when Yahushua was in Bethany, as Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box, very precious ointment, poured on his head. He said, at me. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahushua understood, he said unto him, why trouble you the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there's also this that this woman had done be told for a memorial of her. And with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Shem Shai. Peace, salutations to hopeful elect scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth, learning and teaching this gospel with truth and sincerity. Shalom.